Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Heel Podcast with your hosts, Scott and Mike. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about season 4 of our rewatch of Teen Titans. Moving on to a character spotlight for me, and that will be it. So let us get right into this. Talking about season 4. So, season 4 starts off with a decent episode. Don't touch that dial. Control Freak is back.
We were both. I didn't take a guess, but you were wrong with the one that you thought
Yep.
it was starting. like,
It also wasn't in this season at all.
yeah, no, it wasn't. It was not. I was looking out for it because I'm like, okay, he mentioned the race, so I got to try to pay close attention for it. But nope, it's clearly in the last season. Um, so interesting to see when that will come in next season.
Yeah, but no control. This was one of my favorite episodes because I do remember this one as a kid. Um, Control Freak being the greatest villain because he was in the TV. He literally created the device strong enough to send him into the television, which then took over TV. And then Teen Titans, although the plan was not for them to go into the TV, however, Beast Boy saw a big red button, pushed it, and then they all went to the TV.
They all followed.
Well, they didn't
Um,
have a choice. They didn't have a
no,
choice.
I think it's interesting now that when you were first mentioning Control Freak, you were like, I remember this villain being stupid, and that I wondering if you would not take him as seriously because he was so dumb when you were a kid, and now a couple weeks later you're like, nah, he's one of the best villains. I love him. like,
Well, no, it was one of those things where I also liked him as a kid too, but I just thought he was stupid.
yeah,
Obviously, in this one, he's not as he was smart enough to know where he was going to be successful in the worlds in which he knew the most about.
he was a nerd and he capitalized on it. like,
And it honestly worked out until Beast Boy out nerded him. I mean, let's
yep,
be honest. So Beast Boy was the winner of this. Although I did like that they brought in all these villains from across the cinematic universe in Teen Titans to try to
yep.
take out the Teen Titans. They obviously fail, and then they go after Control Freak. One of the big
Yep.
things that I did like about this episode was the fourth wall break a little bit where they're telling them to shut off the TV, don't watch this. Like this is
Yep.
not what you shouldn't be
It's
watching this.
brain rot. Brain rot.
Exactly. Um and it's just like why are you still watching this? Get off. Do something else. Which I thought was incredible. Just because of how perfect that is. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
It was just
it's
it was
fitting.
just perfect. It was 100% fitting. Overall, I mean, this I thought this was a great start to the season. I mean, it
It was
meant
a
nothing to the plot.
good first episode. Absolutely.
Yep. The quest. Now, this one I remember as well.
Yep.
This was such a good one. Robin gets beat by I forget what his name is. What is the guy's name that he loses
Uh,
to?
his name is Katoro, I believe.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he beats Robin in martial arts, let's say, because I still argue that he cheated. Because he said no weapons, and then his final move was a weapon using. Granted, he didn't hit him with the weapon, but he used it as a way to swing around.
I also counted more than 3 moves.
Yeah, no, that was the other thing too. But weirdly enough, in martial arts, I think it's like a series of like almost like in Mortal Kombat where you do the combo. That's considered one move.
That's kind of like what I was going at, but I'm like, that's a loophole. That shouldn't count. That
Oh
was.
no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just stating that I don't think I think the idea was 3 attempts, which was not what was explained. It was 3 moves.
That was not what was said.
No, no, I 100% agree with you. Um, then he
but
had so Robin then had to look for the true master, climb up this massive mountain, and he had to face a bear, a snake, and a monkey.
and what now I'm no, it was last episode where he turned where
Last season.
last season he himself turned into a monkey. What was the guy's name again? Oh, Mojo. No. Oh my god.
Doesn't matter right now.
No, but now it's bothering me because I don't remember his name.
Well, you should be better at it. So,
Do you remember his name?
nope, and I'm not gonna think about it because I didn't bring it up. The
Someone is
amazing
a
Mumbo.
cranky tonight.
Mumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo. That's right.
Yeah, but it's the amazing Mumbo Jumbo. Okay.
Yep.
I needed time to think about it, so insulting you helped. So the idea was, so the whole point was him realizing, although I don't know why he didn't realize it, but the old woman was the true master the entire time. Um,
I
which
mean, you're so focused on something, you don't see something that's right in front of you, and it's not like.
oh, I can agree the first time he met her, but after like the third time, I was kind of like, man, really, you're surprised?
I mean, in his defense, someone just hanging out at the bottom of the cliff, and someone tells you,
Well, well,
I
I think you have some merit in what you say, especially when she finally reveals. She's like, "You never asked."
yeah,
She's just like, "You were too busy trying to get up here as quickly as you can." And he's like, "Why did I have to do it by nightfall?" And she goes, "Because it's harder to see the
it's
path at night."
it's easier to see during the day, duh.
And
um,
it's just
I
like
mean,
so funny.
in his defense, also he did say, "Where can I try find the true master?" or whatever at the very beginning,
Yeah,
and she
and she
said,
did said up the mountain.
"Yeah." So I'm not gonna in his world, he never
No,
said, "Are you the true master?" But
no. He did ask where can he find them. Well, I'm wondering now if he said it in a weird way. I don't know. He might have just said, "Where's the master?"
he might have said, "I'm looking for the true master." So
Yeah,
that's
and
and then she
you normally find them at the top of the mountain.
well, I think he said, "Oh, everybody's looking for the true master, but no one's truly ready." And
Yeah,
then the quest begins. Um,
yeah. Because if I remember correctly, it was the strength of the bear,
mhm.
the stealthiness of the snake, and the agility of the monkey.
Agility of the monkey. I don't think it was stealthy because it involved sight.
I know, but I'm trying to think. I can't think of a word that goes with it because it would be intuitive. Because that's not right either.
No,
Um.
no. I mean, I agree with you. It definitely began with an S. Um,
Anyway, the idea was he had built up his senses to be able to attack and everything else without you basically without being dependent on his senses or his
yes,
typical senses of sight.
I'm trying to
But yeah,
see if
and then
Google will tell me what.
Mike's gonna use Mike's gonna try to use AI that's been failing him the last couple of days. Um.
It's the first thing that pops up on Google. So I'm trying to.
So anyway, the idea is he trains with the master, and it ends with him just training with the master, and that's it. Obviously,
And
at
then
the end,
he,
he's successful.
then he. No, no, no. You're missing a very important part.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. Because the Teen Titans
Teen
are
Titans
all
dress up as
up
Robin.
as Robin, and they all begin to call themselves Robins, and then he shows up, and he's like, "Hi, Robins," and it's like, "I wear the mask to feel cool too," and they all just don't know what to do. But
they
also,
just
the other thing,
they just
but
pass
also,
out.
yes, but the other thing that needs to be mentioned as well is the fact that Raven was the last one to be convinced to dress up as Robin. So it was Beast Boy first, then it was Starfire, then it was Cyborg, and then Raven was the final one.
Yep. And I like when each one of them are resistant in a different way, because it's like Starfire is just like hesitant because she's like, I don't want to upset Robin, and Beast Boy's like, she's not here, what's the big deal. Cyborg shows up and he's like, how dare you not invite me to do this. And
Yeah,
then Raven is just like, you guys are dumb. And then
and then joints. But still a very good episode. It was definitely perfect again. Um, then we move on to man, Slade. Slade is awesome. It's the birthmark episode. So this is the
mhm.
start of the rise of Trigon, right? Because that's what this season is all about. Um,
before we continue, I remember the last the episode when for our versus series aired, and we were talking about Teen Titans, about this season, about Raven, and you had said, you remember, it was disappointing for you because it's only 3 episodes, and as we've come to realize,
it's
it is
actually 5
more
episodes.
than 3 episodes. Similar to the Terra season,
Oh yeah,
it
well
was
no, they did
ended
it.
up
Yeah, it
being
was.
more.
I believe it was 5, but still, we'll get to that in a minute. But no, you're absolutely right. So the idea is it's her birthday. Slade comes out of quite literally hell, and he starts causing Raven to have a birthmark. To basically, the whole mission for Slade is to get the message across that, by the way, just because you're not going to either be celebrating your birthday or whatever it may be, however you want to describe it, the prophecy's still going to happen, kids. So hopefully you get to deal
It
with it.
it, it has begun.
Yep.
He has delivered his message.
Correct. And so the Teen Titans are trying to celebrate her birthday. She's against it. Then, Raven keeps this a secret because she knows what's. She doesn't know all the details, I would say for sure, but she has a good idea of what's going on, in the sense of like, and had lied to, or didn't tell her friends exactly what Slade was there for.
Well, no, I disagree with that. She knew exactly what she was and what she was destined to bring in. She knew that she was a portal to bring Trigon to end the world. Granted, like, not necessarily like, oh, how is Trigon going to destroy the world, but like she knew what her purpose was. Um,
What I meant was she didn't register that Slade was going to be a part of it.
oh yes, yeah, that.
But yeah, no, no, she knew everything else because she was told of it. But so well done. Oh, just it's just the start of it and the birthmark and everything else, where we see the magic kind of float onto her skin. Is
I
this
love seeing Slade with his new powers too. Like I forgot about that. So it was, as
my
soon as I saw it, I was like,
no
wild.
there so I didn't forget that, but there is one thing I definitely did not remember as a kid. I'm going to talk about it later. Um, was this the episode where he rips off her clothes, or is that the next one?
That's the prophecy one.
Okay, never mind. So anyway, so this one was just literally the message being brought, and that her skin was showing the signs of the magic, so she would then have to be reminded of it.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. Ends with her just trying to cope with her friends to not have to think about it anymore.
Yeah. Yes, and by the end of the episode, she was willing to celebrate her birthday because at that point, it's like, you know what? There's no stopping it.
Hmm.
It's gonna happen anyways.
Hmm.
Let's try to enjoy it. And like, for the most part, I feel like that's kind of a trend for the rest of the season. To be honest, like, Raven is a little bit more outgoing and willing to do more
This
stuff.
this whole season, and it's because she knows the end is coming.
Yeah. And as she said, I mean, now obviously I'm jumping ahead a bit, but she's like,
Oh,
I wanted to make sure that you guys enjoy what time you have left, which is really messed up for a teen to say.
yes. So this next
um,
episode, I did not remember to save my life.
as
It
soon
is
as it started airing, when I saw the title, I was like, I don't remember this. And then as soon as it started, I'm like, I remember this perfectly now.
I actually did not remember this at all, which is funny because we'll talk about one that you didn't remember that I did vividly. Like the moment I heard uh, they were eating pie, I was like, I found it.
There's
Uh,
actually 2 episodes in this season that I did not remember whatsoever. So that one, and then there's one later, or
okay, we'll talk
you know,
about that in a minute. Oh, I think I lied to you. I think there is two that I didn't remember either. We'll
oh,
talk about them. So anyway, Cyborg the Barbar, yeah, Cyborg the Barbarian. Um, basically Cyborg is basically telling the Teen Titans that they got to build up their defenses and everything else, and they got to be prepared. And then all of a sudden, he goes zippy zap into the past.
5,000 years into the past, to be specific.
Yeah, yeah, where he joins barbarians. We'll go with for now. Um,
I mean, where? How else are we gonna go for them? They're barbarians.
Well, no, I didn't. I couldn't remember if they actually said the name of their people. Because I feel like
Not
Raven
that I
might have.
know of.
I feel like Raven did when she showed him the book after. Um,
No, I don't. She said. I think she said. Well,
I think I found your friends.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. And
Anyway,
obviously, she mentioned about how he's the only one not wearing armor.
well, yeah, but we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, he goes to the past and I think what's hilarious is how it starts of him being there is like, oh, I can't touch anything, I can't touch anything, and then finally starts helping out and just bashes all these green. I'm gonna call them aliens for now,
Yeah,
and just starts destroying them all around. And then they all celebrate and everything else. And this one guy who wants to be known as the greatest hero of all time gets showed up by Cyborg and is
he
not
is. He
happy.
is the. He is their champion.
Was their champion. And apparently, we find out rather quickly that he woke a witch up, and now she owes him all of his wishes until he dies? Question mark. That was never clear.
She becomes his servant because he released her. She is now his slave, and but like clearly,
She
as
also
you know,
messes with him too, so
yeah,
she doesn't
she's like, be
care.
careful what you wish for because your wishes might not come out the way you want. Which I mean, she's doing what he wants, just
But
not
not
the
the way he
way he
wants
wants.
them. Correct. He wants to have a big battle where he looks victorious. He wants a big battle so he has a chance to show off his skills. And then the problem is he then asks for the power to take out that threat. However, she gives him the power but doesn't work with him, and that's on him.
Yep, and yeah, he everything that he asks for, it's with a twist. He brings in an invading force that he can prove that he's a hero, but the invading force is too much for him, so he can't necessarily prove that he's the hero. Then, like you said, she gives him the power, but he turns into one of those alien creatures.
No, no, no. Before that, so the idea is the first two wishes was to bring an invading force to make himself the hero, then giving him the power to take them out, which was how Cyborg got there.
Right. Yep.
You're thinking of the other one, which is later, because you're not wrong. Um, you're just ahead. So then, obviously, we find out that
Sorry,
the
I got too excited.
well, speaking of too excited, Cyborg finds out that his warrior friend is actually a female who he finds very attractive.
Yep.
Um, I believe she's the leader of the group, is she not? Am I incorrect?
She's
No, that's my
she's
friend.
she's the leader of the tribe.
So anyway, he tries to he tries to make electricity, which causes a lot of explosions. And then she's like, "By the way, I want you to know that your experiments scare my friends, scare my warriors, and that's not an easy thing to do."
And this is at that point because she doesn't want him to leave because I guess she's also attracted to him, and he says that he cannot because their time period is too primitive for him,
Correct.
and she
And
takes
she
she takes
takes it as
offense
an
to that.
insult.
Yes.
And then she also finds out that his armor can never leave his body, so therefore it must be a burden for him.
Hmm.
He then loses power. He tries to build himself back up. Um, he uses a last bit of power to help save the town because they get attacked.
Yes, he is left drained after, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, and then he wakes up to them with an aqueduct to generate electricity, which gets him to 8% or 7%. It's a
I
low
don't
number.
remember yeah, it's low. I don't remember the
It was a
exact
single
amount.
digit. It was a single digit regardless, but he was like, I can handle this. Um, he then has the warrior that wants to be the warrior. Um, calls Cyborg over to. He has found a way to get him home, and Cyborg puts two and two together of what's going on, and um, refuses to leave, and that's when the guy wishes for more power, and that's when the aliens come down and absorb into him, which gives him great power. Cyborg then comes back to the root, grabs a sword, and begins to go and slice everyone up. So he's in armor, which I find to be interesting this time.
Yeah, he's got
Um,
double armor.
and runs through and starts slicing through everything. While the fight is still continuing, all of a sudden a portal opens up with a black raven claw that picks him up and drags him into the present, and he freaks out about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Raven shows him the book that they apparently were successful, and that apparently this must be you since you're the only one without armor. And he's
Yep.
like, yeah.
I like how in that at the end he the champion allows Cyborg to run back to the tribe and and tell them, hey, there's an invading force coming, uh, and get prepared. Oh wait, no, that's not what it was. Cyborg ends up getting back, tells them that, oh, your
But they
champion
were
is
already
actually
aware
a
of it.
traitor, and they were already aware of it because their scouts spotted an invading force coming, and it
Yeah,
was
but
like
they assumed he was the
one leading the
person in charge.
charge. Yeah. Um.
Um, but yeah, no, it was. This was actually a really good episode.
Yeah.
Um, wish we could have gotten more from it, but realistically, I mean, these are one of the one-offs, so it's what we should be expecting.
Yep. It's building towards the overall character because, as we
Yo,
always talk
absolutely,
about, each character, each episode, every character takes something that's important as a life lesson out of these episodes. So, this one was, making do with what you have, and just because something doesn't seem advanced doesn't mean that they're not advanced in their own way or something.
absolutely. No, absolutely. So then now the next episode, episode 5, is Employee of the Month. Now this one I remembered. I will admit, so this was one I remembered, but not right away. This was one where I had to actually like watch it a little bit, and then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I got it. But this was no, there is one that I actually didn't remember whatsoever, and we'll talk about that later. But the idea is they're chasing after, they're trying to, they're trying to find out why cows are being taken by UFOs.
Yep.
Um, and they dress up, they go into disguises on a farm and then try to attack the spaceship. They fail, um, and the whole episode is them trying to figure out why this is happening. Beast Boy finds out he can't really keep up with everyone because he's tired, because he's having to use his arms, which is such a funny concept to me, but whatever. Um, and so he wants to get a moped. Out of all the ways to gain speed is stupid to me, but whatever. He wants to. He, I don't.
Dude is a like a what um
A
I want to
geek.
say I want to say hippie, but like he's like a hippie at heart. Like you just picture hippies as vegetarians, eco-friendly. We just want to chill all the time.
He's just one with nature, man. He's just one with nature. He turns into things. So anyway,
I just love his bit. Obviously, the entire show is like he's gonna get the coolest moped and pick up all the chicks. It's like, nah, that ain't gonna pick up the chicks, dude. Not even in the early 2000s. That wasn't. They were never cool.
no, they weren't. Um. So anyway, so the idea is he's then going to try to get a because he tries to convince people to do it with like either have the Teen Titans buy it for him or have Cyborg build it. And Cyborg was too busy to build it. Robin said no, um, because you can fly, and he's like, well, my arms get tired. Um, so anyway, we have all that going on, and then he starts to look for a side job. He fails at all of them, um, and then finally happens to get a job at Meaty Meats, the Meaty Meats,
I don't
the
remember
Mighty Meaty Meats.
I don't remember the
I
name.
feel like there was three names to it.
Yeah, it was. But
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So
we
the
find out at the beginning of the episode that they finally open a restaurant in their city,
and they've never seen it before.
and they never seen it before, and Cyborg is obsessed with it, but obviously Beast Boy is a vegetarian and they only sell meat. So
Yeah. Well, so he thinks.
so he thinks, and they eventually, like you said, he's trying to apply for jobs, finally gives up, and he just goes in. And when he walks in, the manager is like, "Oh, if you get Employee of the Month, we're gonna give you the free moped that you just happen to want." And he's like, "I'll bite my pride and work for your establishment."
Manager Bob. Um. Yeah, and then we also find out rather quickly that Bob is the burgers. Um,
Yep. Worst manager ever.
yes. So then, obviously, so the Teen Titans continue to look for why these cows are being taken. Um, Beast Boy is stuck working. They find out that the cows are used as fuel, kind of. They kind of have an idea of that, but that's as far as they kind of know, or at least it's being powering the ship.
Yeah, the cow is powering the ship. Yeah, it's not. Doesn't seem like it's killing them, but
No, it looks also like they're using the milk
yeah,
specifically because of how it's connected to the cows. But anyway, so Beast Boy is overrun by a bunch of customers, then goes in the back and finds out that there is a Nofu, which is a tofu-like creature that landed on Earth that is going to use the energy from the cows to help get them what they need, and then they were going to blow up the planet.
they gotta steal
And
all the cows and then Earth go boom. because for some reason that's a correlation.
so Beast Boy then takes. Oh, he captures the Nofu, and tortures him to give him the information that he needs, and finds out that if he shoots water on the bobs, they turn into tofu squares.
I want to. We gotta talk about the torture technique. It was just threatening to eat him, and he immediately caved. Like I,
No,
you
no,
know,
no, no, no. He had to be squirted with barbecue sauce first, and then he caved.
no. He was terrified, and he's like, "You wouldn't actually dare to do that." And that's when the barbecue sauce comes out, and he's like, all right, I
He's
give
like,
up."
don't make me get the soy sauce. And so he puts him in the freezer. Um, and then he goes out, starts squirting all the bobs with a squirt gun on the moped, by the way.
Yeah,
And then proceeds to get all the cows out of there. And then Ken and is purposely doing everything except for stopping the bomb because he has no idea what he's doing.
he's afraid that he's gonna mess it up.
Yes, like he did with the game station. Um,
And all he had to do was turn the off switch off.
yeah, but anyway, so he gets all of them out of there. He squirts all the things, and then he shuts off the bomb. And then all of a sudden, all of the ships turn to tofu as well,
Tofu, because
which threw me off completely. I was so confused at that. I can understand them shutting down, but turning into tofu threw me off. Um,
their entire civilization is tofu. Apparently, their metal ships are as well.
apparently, so all the cows are safe, and then all of a sudden, Beast Boy explains what happened, but the
Back
moped
at the
breaks down.
tower.
Yeah, back at the tower. He then the moped is destroyed, and Cyborg ate Nofu.
Yep. So, Robin was like, "So what happened to the leader? Oh, he's in the freezer." And then we look over, and Cyborg is licking his fingers.
Yeah, he's getting all the barbecue sauce off of himself, um, which I thought was kind of interesting. And that's how the episode ends. I thought this was a nice one because Beast Boy actually had to be the brains of the operation, which we will obviously see more of in season 5. But I just found it to be
I
interesting.
wouldn't really say he was the brains.
He played a more of a.
He was the focus.
He was the
We don't.
focus. Well, no, because I'm going to say this because there's although he wasn't leading the team, he was leading the operation.
Yeah,
Granted,
because
they were not around.
he figured out what the thing was, what the issue was, and he was the one taking charge.
Correct.
Um, it was nice because we don't necessarily we have not gotten many Beast Boy focused episodes, so
No, that is
it
true.
was nice to be able to see that.
So the next episode is the episode Mike has been talking about for the last 4 weeks now, or 3 weeks now. It is Trog. Um,
Truck,
Troc?
yeah, TROQ.
You're right, Truck. I don't know why I looked at that and saw a G. Um, so anyway, the whole episode is they watch this ship get attacked by other ships, and assume that the guy is good automatically, which I find to be interesting.
He
Um,
just looks like a hero, so he must be a hero. Which I mean, I'm not going to take that away. He might be, but
no,
he's also a racist hero.
no, that is very fair. Um, he gave me Buzz Lightyear vibes. But anyway,
It was a combination of Buzz Lightyear and you had mentioned Captain Adam, and
yes,
I very much see that absolutely.
you see it now that we saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now that I remembered the concept of the episode, I did not remember what he looked like.
yeah,
So,
he very much yeah. So anyway, he looks like a silver, like a guy completely covered in silver.
mhm.
Honestly, think of it like weirdly enough, like if Buzz Lightyear was in that universe and then covered in silver instead of in his regular suit.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
So the idea is apparently there's this race. I even hesitate to call it a race, but it's like a cybernetic race that is trying to take over all of organic life.
The Locrix
Yes.
is what
And
this
so
is
he's
saying.
tasked with going to blow up their central mainframe.
Mhm.
So they then all agree to help out, and they join the ship. He is not mean to Starfire right away, but there are some slight hints that he doesn't want her
Well,
around.
when she introduces herself, his immediate response was, "Ah, you have a Termarinian."
Tamaranian. Correct.
Obviously, as especially as a kid, it's like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then come to find out he is not a fan of Tamaranians and he sees them as lesser beings.
Which
Um,
also, a side note, I didn't realize that Tamaranians are actually considered cat-like creatures.
I didn't realize that either.
Look up Tamaranians while I'm doing this, while I talk about what happens, and
We'll
you're
do
gonna.
that right now.
I legitimately was stunned, because I had to learn how to spell it for one of our shorts because it came up spelled wrong. So I had to look it up, and it comes up as a cat-like creature or cat-like alien race.
Interesting.
You see it?
Um, Tamaranians are a humanoid golden skinned alien race from the planet Tamaran in the DC comics. They are known for their red hair, green eyes, and feline ancestry. Driven by emotion rather than reason, Tamarinians are fierce warriors with an even greater capacity for love. That's interesting.
Which makes it even funnier that Mumbo Jumbo turned her into a cat.
Yeah, that didn't even
I
realize that. That's
I didn't know that either, so I just find that to be even funnier. So anyway, um, the whole point of the episode is like he's very much not for her doing anything. When he starts assigning everyone tasks, he does not assign her anything. And calls her a truck.
yep.
And at one point, Cyborg asks her what
They
that
hinted
is.
at it so bad last season with her transformation being a feline. The claws, the fur, the eyelids getting slit. Like they hinted at that so bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know what to tell you. Um,
I mean,
so
there's
anyway,
not much you can tell me. I'm telling you.
yeah, I just told you the big point. After that, you're on your own. So, so anyway, so Cyborg eventually asks her, "Oh, why does he call you Trog?"
Truck.
Oh, Truck, whatever. It doesn't matter. Gosh.
Get your
And
insults right. All right.
maybe I don't want to be. You know what? I don't want to get flagged for saying a racial slur. Okay.
Oh,
So I'm
oh.
saying it with I'm saying it with a G instead of a Q. All right.
Because now all of a sudden you care about being care about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, Truck. And what she says to Cyborg is, "Oh, it's nothing. Oh no, it means nothing." And so Cyborg takes it as, and which to be fair, I did too, is that, oh, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
No, actually, you were right the first time. She says it's nothing and then walks away.
Yes.
And when he confronts her about it again, when
No, when he calls her that,
he calls her that, he said, "I thought you said it means nothing." She says, "No,
it literally means
it
nothing.
literally means
When
nothing."
he calls me that, he means I am nothing.
Yep. Um.
Um, and so then he tells Robin. Robin then is like, Starfire's helping out and everything else, and then they finally get to the main planet. So, Starfire joins him, who he is not happy with whatsoever, and
Mhm.
then the other four are paired up and dealing with their other tasks. So they make it into the mainframe, and he gets the thing in there, um, and gets ready to arm it. However, he gets trapped into this energy field that shuts down his suit, and then Starfire opens it up with her strength and energy manipulation or energy absorption. Rips it open and tries to grab him, and he's like, "Don't touch me." And she goes, "I get it. You don't care about my life, but apparently I care about yours." And then pulls him out. And then he had, when they get back to the tower, he's like, he was told to thank Starfire, and he did. And he goes, "Oh, I guess there are. I guess not all Tamaranians are bad." Or something along. I forgot what it was. Maybe you're a good one. I
You're
forgot how
you're
he phrased.
you're you're one of the good ones.
And she's like, "No, we're all good." And he's like, "Come on, I'm trying here." And then Raven's like, "You're not trying hard enough. Get off our planet."
No, that was Robin.
No, Raven says it too.
Does she say it too? Because
Raven. So I think it's Raven says, "You're not trying hard enough," and then Robin says, "Get off my planet."
yes, yes, that getting off the planet is definitely Robin.
Okay.
Um, but I like I've said before, I love this episode because it's so like especially for the time frame. It's with all the hostility going on and whatnot, and just questioning Cyborg, where have you ever experienced this kind of discrimination? And he's like, yeah, I'm a
I'm a
robot. What do
robot,
you
and
think?
that's what threw me off too.
Yeah,
Granted, as an adult, I think as a kid that didn't question. I didn't question that at all.
absolutely not. But it. I love that they take the real world problems and put it into this TV show so easily, and it flows so well.
Absolutely.
Makes that's obviously like one of the big things about Cyborg, and they nail it in this entire show.
So then the next episode is the prophecy, the second episode in the Trigon era. Um, this one is we find out more about the prophecy. We find out that they try to. Now I'm forgetting what happens. Oh no, this is the one where Slade causes the fire in the city into the symbol S, or not?
S- Slade is marking the symbol.
Yes,
I forget what the symbol is called.
it's the name that Trigon
Scat,
has.
scat
Scathe. I feel like
might be
there's a
scathe.
th. I
Might
feel
be
like
scathe.
so. Anyway, it's the name that they
Scath.
Scath. That sounds more accurate. Um, it's the name that was given to Trigon, so nobody knew that it was actually Trigon.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Raven is freaking out because of all this, and she's trying to run away. They find out that this library is the only thing that wasn't destroyed in the fire, and apparently it has connections to Raven, or specifically Trigon.
They the entire episode, Raven is trying to hide that from her, from the team, and they are uncovering more and more.
Correct. Um, so they go deeper into the library where Raven literally tries to run away. She goes to Azarath. No, is that where she
Yeah.
goes?
Yep.
Is Azarath?
Azarath. Yep.
So she goes to Azarath and then finds out that the place was burnt down
She was seeking protection, and they could not protect her.
because they were dead.
They were dead. They were they were they
They
were
were
destroyed.
conquered. Conquered. I don't know.
I wouldn't say conquered. I would have just said obliterated.
They were annihilated. They had their own Ragnarok. So
Yeah.
she then goes back to Earth, where it's found out that she is the gem, and that's when Slave rips off her clothes, and then she's basically um, showing off all of her magical symbols on her body.
Now I'm wondering if this was actually the first episode, the end. I think that was actually the end, the beginning of the three-parter, because that was the part where when she finally uh got all of the tattoos, quote unquote, then her hair grew in length. So I don't that did not happen in this episode.
No, yes, it did, because when she gets home, she cuts it short.
Oh, yes. Yep. Okay.
For once, I'm like, I got this.
Now you're on top of things. I'm so proud of you.
I couldn't remember these two episodes separately, but I knew they were different than the end. Um, so yeah, so the idea is he then goes down to hell to tell Trigon basically, hey, I sent the
She's ready.
message. She's
Yep.
ready. He's like, good, good. And Slade just keeps going. You better give me what I want. And he's like, you'll get what you deserve. And I'm like, he's gonna
Yep.
die. So anyway, that was again. It's getting us ready for the end, quite literally.
This season, it was one of those I remember as a kid, and even now rewatching it, how close Robin and Raven were, uh, was very interesting.
It felt
Um,
like it was out of nowhere,
yeah, it really did.
especially
Oh
with the next episode.
yeah, yeah.
So the next episode is Stranded. They're they're going to a distant space station to try to fix something.
it
Um,
it deep it got turned off,
yeah,
and they're
and they're
trying
trying
to
to find out why.
reboot it,
So they do. They find out that there's this creature that makes sonic noises with its mouth and causes destruction to the
and
planet.
does not want to be killed.
No, not at all. So anyway, they then try to escape on the T ship. They then have this thing attack it. Robin's message gets messed up because he says don't split up, and then they do split up. But during all of this, um, Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy make a joke about how, oh, you do what you want. Something about his girlfriend, meaning Starfire. And Robin gets very defensive. He's like, she's not my girlfriend, and Starfire's like gets very depressed after that.
Gets very mad.
Yeah. Which also mentions the fact of why she couldn't fly in this episode too, because her
Hmm.
emotions were all uncontrolled. Um, so anyway, they split up, and Raven has these little creatures as like treating her like a goddess almost. Um, Beast Boy is trying to put Cyborg back together, quite literally. And Robin and Starfire are he's trying to get her not to be mad, and she's like, well, you better talk to me, and if not, then we're done. Don't
Well,
come near.
he's trying to pretend like nothing is the
And she
matter,
is not having it.
and she is just like, Nope, absolutely not.
You are not going to be allowed to just walk this away.
You do not think of me as a friend, and you do not think of me as a girl. If I am not those things, what am I?
And I just like how he goes, I don't think you understand what girlfriend means on our planet. She goes, it is a girl that you find
Have feelings
feelings
for.
for and do recreational things with. Um, and
And he's
have a strong emotional connection with them. And then he literally goes, "All right, I guess you know what it is."
yeah, it just caught him so off guard.
To be fair, would you believe that she knew exactly what they meant? No,
With the
not
way that she was describing it, absolutely not.
correct. Um, yeah. So anyway, so the whole concept is them coming back together, and then admitting that he does care for her and everything else. Then the creature starts attacking again, um, and they have to team up to fight it.
She is slowly regaining her powers.
Yes, yes, this is.
Um,
And then the whole
and
team comes back together.
yeah, and I was gonna say she finally fully regains her powers when they take a leap of faith jump,
Yes.
which also seems to finally destroy the creature.
Or at least gets it lost for the most part.
Yeah, yeah,
So then they escape um, and get out of there. And that's pretty much the end of that episode. I mean, it was cute. It was quick. It was kind of doing exactly what it needed to do.
yeah, yeah.
So this was the one I did not remember at all, which was Overdrive.
Same. This one I did. I
You
like.
didn't know the other one, the next one either, the one after this.
Yeah, no. Over this one was the first one I did not remember, and then Mother May I was
You had
the
two
other one.
right away. Okay, that's
Yeah, it was two back
two
to
in a row.
back.
Two in a row. Sorry, that's hilarious. No, so it was Overdrive for me. I did not remember this whatsoever. Um, so basically, the idea is Cyborg's trying to plan out his day, and he just doesn't have enough time in the day, or doesn't have enough energy during the day. So he decides to get this new chip, which is the V7, which is 10 or 100 times faster than the V6.
And you were right the first time. He didn't have enough time in the day to get everything done that he wanted to do. It's not that he was tired, but he wasn't moving fast enough to get everything done.
Correct. So then he gets this thing, and then he literally becomes like the team himself. He takes everyone out by himself. He's just flying through everything. Is able to get so much work done and everything else, and just is able to just get everything done. However, they then deal with who is it that they're facing?
Billy numerous.
Thank you, Billy Numerous. Um, so he then begins. So they this guy literally can divide himself. So the idea is he basically shuts down all of his other processing power to just give it to the chip, and begins to go crazy running around trying to find the guy. Eventually overloads the system and short circuits and shuts down. And the team brings him back to the tower to then remove the chip, which brings him back to normal. And he comes up with a plan to defeat Billy Numerous, which was cloning everyone, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much making holograms.
Duplicating themselves just like Billy numerous.
Yep. And then apparently when Billy overexerts himself, or duplicates himself too much, he then has to revert back to his singular self.
I had taken that as like he hit his max to what he could duplicate into.
So it wasn't so much that I was worried about the max piece; it was the fact that all of a sudden everything had to be brought back.
No. I get that. Like whatever it was, like he, like you said, he could have overexerted himself or just hit his max, and because of
Correct.
that, he had to revert to the single Billy before redoing the whole thing. Because
Correct.
I mean, they never really gave an answer as to why he couldn't do that and why he had to. Everyone came back to him. So
Correct. And then he was captured, and that was pretty much the end of that episode. Um,
yep, and Cyborg learned that he's perfect the way he is, and he doesn't need a boost to get everything done, and take it in stride.
yes. Now the next one is Mother May I.
It was a creepy episode.
This one I remembered so much. I will say this: the one thing I never remembered, which to be fair, they only briefly talked about in the episode, which is why I don't remember it, was how she even got involved. Which is hilarious because they only briefly talk about it.
They talk about it really.
Really.
Just Cyborg is like, I was walking down a dark alley and I saw this creepy woman.
And she gave me a pie, and you know me, I don't say no to pie. So anyway, the whole concept is Mother May I is in their place and is feeding them pie, which apparently makes them love her, and then they have to go fight the Hive Five, and they go out to face them, and she gets them all set up and everything else into their little costumes to keep warm and everything else, so they can't actually fight, and they get defeated by the Hive Five.
I mean, but Beast Boy's the only one that's kept dresses to keep warm. Robin just has his hair slicked.
Yeah, but
Actually, no.
Starfire.
Starfire has a sweater. That's my bad. Starfire has a sweater.
He has the
Beast Boy
robe.
has the bunny outfit, so that way he
Can't transform.
cannot transform. Cyborg has the
Cyborg is a
raincoat.
yep.
And Raven is in the dress.
Yes, correct. So anyway, they lose. Mother May I saves them, beats up the Hive Five,
Mm-hmm.
and then brings the Teen Titans back to have them eat pie. But because of that, Starfire gets hit in the head and sees Mother May I for what she really is, which is an evil three-eyed witch.
Yep.
Why three eyes? I'll never understand, but whatever. Um, so then her whole job is trying to convince the Teen Titans that Mother May I is an evil witch.
Mm-hmm. And every time they start to make progress, Mother May I is just like, nah,
She wants to shove
you guys love
pie
me.
in their
Get
face.
here, eat more pie.
And then she tries to bake them, which is even funnier.
What's the childhood story that's very similar to this?
Hansel and Gretel.
Is it Hansel and Gretel? I thought it was a different one. All right.
No, so obviously it's different because so it's a witch that has a gingerbread house that you eat the stuff there, and then she fattens you up, so she then cooks you and then eats you.
Yeah. No. I remember the whole concept of it. I just thought I didn't remember it was Hansel and Gretel. For some reason, I thought it was a different one.
Nope, it's Hansel and Gretel. But yeah, so obviously it's a little bit different because it's pies instead.
Yeah,
Um, so anyway, they team up and beat her, and then turn bring the pie over to the Hive Five, who then Mother May I works with them.
then decides to eat them. So, I
Well, we assume that because we never see exactly what happens.
mean, if she's baking him into a pie, I assume. Okay, if
Well,
she
no, we
doesn't
don't
eat the
see it.
pie, she
We don't see them get to that point, but we're assuming it goes to the same point.
well, yes, yes. And
That's why.
as what I was going to say was just because she was turning him into the pie doesn't necessarily mean that she was eating the pie. She could have been feeding the pie to somebody else.
I thought. Anyway, you're right. No, you're absolutely correct.
I think that she ate the pie, but I'm just saying, like, because we didn't see it, we don't know.
That's fair. So now we're going to talk about the last three episodes because they go so well together. It is the end.
The eclipse is here. Raven is destined to open the portal. Slade is coming to retrieve her, and
The first episode is basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, Slade bringing hell into the world to have Raven open the portal. And the end of the
Slade,
episode, and
yeah,
at the end of the episode, Ravens opens the portal or becomes the portal. But before,
accepts it. Yeah.
but before she does, she puts her essence in her four friends, who do not get turned into stone when Trigon comes into the living world.
Mm-hmm.
And Slade also doesn't get what he wants, shockingly.
I thought we found that out in the beginning of the next episode. Am I
True.
wrong?
Possibly.
I,
It's all blending together. I don't know. To be honest with
I,
you, we both could be right, or we both could be. You know what I mean?
like you
I
said,
think
it's all the same.
you are correct that that's the next thing. Where we could both agree that that's the next thing, regardless of whether it's the same episode or not.
That's the goal of Slade in the next episode. Yeah.
Yes. Um. So anyway, so Slade finds out he's not going to get what he wants, which we still don't know what he wants yet, which is fun. Um. Episode 2 is when Robin and Slade team up to go find Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And then Beast Boy, Starfire, and Cyborg have to try to distract Trigon, who makes evil versions of themselves to then have to fight each other.
I forgot about that. Like
No, I did not. I remember that being so like this Trigon piece, just so you know, was so there is something I didn't remember, which we will talk about somewhere. I forget where it comes in, but it will come in soon. Um, is like Trigon was the villain where I was like, I needed to know more about him. Like he is just obviously I know this is stupid because he literally is the devil, but he's like the embodiment of evil, and I just find that to be so incredible because like heroes like these guys trying to fight themselves because that's what he does. He's not going to waste his time belittling himself, facing insignificant worms.
Yeah. I mean, he's got minions for that. You know,
Correct. Or
he's
he
too
can have
good.
them fight themselves, and it's even funnier for him.
I mean, there's still his minions.
No, you're absolutely correct because he rips the darkness out of him.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just so well done. I love. No, it was so great. I loved it. I just remembered it as a kid, being like so mesmerized by the fact that the evil selves had popped out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Loved every second of it. Still loved it to this day. I don't remember. No, they did. They did. So while this is all going on, we find out that Trigon knew what Robin and Slade's plans were to begin with, roughly, and he's like, "I'm aware of it, and I don't care." He goes,
That
"But
was
we
in
can
the
stop it."
that was in the third episode.
Are we sure? It doesn't matter.
I I just watched it.
No. You did. So anyway, my point I'm making is Slade and Robin are down. They have to go down the path. They start fighting and working together until they have to split and part ways because Slade has to go and get his reward, and Robin is being shown where to go somewhere else.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. The episode ends with him just finding Raven.
Yeah.
You're right. Because do we see Slade fight yet?
No.
Okay.
so the episode ends with Slade leaving,
Yes,
Robin
Robin
finding a young Raven, and at the beginning of the next episode,
no,
they do
doesn't
like a
Trigon no doesn't oh no Trigon doesn't say like, oh, it's pointless. Who you were looking for doesn't exist anymore, or is that the beginning of episode 3? When the evil Starfire goes to Trigon and whispers in her ear, and he's like,
that's
finally,
in episode 3.
okay.
That is in episode 3.
So basically, the Teen Titans are getting their butt kicked by their evil selves.
Yep. And I'm probably jumping ahead, but because they're getting their butts kicked, Beast Boy is like, I didn't realize that I was so strong. What is going on? And Cyborg is like,
That's episode 3.
no, I know that. But he's like, Cyborg's like, you're not that strong. I could kick your butt at any point. And that's when they're like,
decide to split up.
let's switch it up.
Switch it up. And then they defeat their evil selves. But anyway, so Trigon also makes a point that to explain like, oh, I'm not worried about it, and Raven's not who you think she is. Although there might be a piece of her that exists, the one that knows you doesn't exist anymore.
Mhm.
So Robin takes Raven out of the cavern to get back to the mainland, or whatever you want to call it, the overworld. While we see Slade literally fight what I'm assuming is that universe's version of the Grim Reaper.
Something along that lines.
Defeats the Grim Reaper and gets his body back, which that was the thing I did not remember, that he was brought back to life.
I yeah, no, when we were going back down, and I did not remember until his mask was removed, and I was like, oh, that's right, he's a skeleton.
I thought he died at the end of this because he was no longer tied to Trigon.
No, I agree. I did not remember he survived. I thought when Trigon betrayed him, I thought he was done. I thought.
So I remember him helping the Titans, but I thought at the end of it he's gone, and he is gone, but he's not dead. He's
it's weird because I remember him helping the Titans,
yes.
but I thought my memory was it was out of order. So I remember him helping the Titans, and I thought then Trigon like captured him and eliminated him. So in the end of episode 1 or the beginning of episode 2, when he got betrayed, I was like, wait, no, there's no way he's already out. Like, I remember it differently, and
Correct. And then so he comes out, and Slade and the Titans begin to fight Trigon. Raven remembers everything, and realizes that Trigon can be hurt, and then takes all of her essence out of her friends and beats Trigon.
It becomes White Raven once more.
And then beats Trigon. And the episode ends with the world coming back to normal and Slade being out in the free world.
Out in the free world, and Raven is happy. And she is celebrating with friends, and she's giving hugs and smiling. And Beast Boy is all for it.
Also very confused by it, too. But yes, so I love this season. This was such a good season. I cannot wait for season 5.
I'm like apprehensive about season 5 because this was such a great ending that it could have been a good send off for the series. So it's like, I don't remember what was season 5. So it's like, how can they top this?
No, absolutely. I do remember. So I will say this: I do remember what season 5 is about, or at least the ending. I don't know what the overall theme is for it. I'll say that.
I remember the ending with them having a send off, but I don't.
Yeah, there's a specific, like, you know what I mean, like the Masters of Evil. Like, that was the big thing for me, what I remember. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll be talking about that next week. So you ready for my character spotlight, Mike?
Yep, let's get to it.
So we've actually already talked about this character briefly. Actually, multiple times, really. His name is Eric Williams. He is the brother of Simon Williams. Do you know who that is?
Is it Power Man?
No, it's Wonder Man.
Oh, wow. My bad. That's my bad.
Power Man is Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I apologize.
You should. All right, Eric Williams is obviously the brother of Simon Williams, who later becomes Wonder Man. Was born in Paterson, New Jersey. Eric was always the black sheep of the family. His mother Martha would tell him that he was born bad, which is what every kid wants to hear. While she was giving so much attention to Simon. Eric's father, Sanford, was charged with disciplining him, but was abusive and uncaring. He even preferred to watch television lazily whilst Eric was torturing the family cat. At the same time, their mother Martha was loving and attentive to Simon, making Eric bitter and jealous as a result. One day, Eric was playing with chemicals in the garage and caused a fire that burned down their house. Simon felt guilty for having not stopped Eric and resolved to be responsible for Eric then on. As they grew older, Simon grew studious while Eric was an athlete. Eric became more rebellious and tried to get Simon to join him in his petty theft. Eventually, Eric joined the Magia um, and moved to Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Simon took over the family business, Williams Innovations. Partly due to the competition with Stark Industries, Williams Innovation began to fail. Desperate, Simon turned to Eric and his mob ties for help. Simon embezzled money from the company to invest with Eric, but Simon was caught and jailed. Simon was freed from jail by Baron Zemo and induced by an offer of revenge on Tony Stark. By defeating Iron Man and the Avengers, Simon was transformed into Wonder Man in order to infiltrate the Avengers, but Zemo empowering process also poisoned Simon, ensuring his loyalty in exchange for the antidote. Simon Better's nature worn out, and he died saving the Avengers from his trap. Learning of Simon's death, Eric was inflamed with guilt and anger, and through his um, contacts, he contacted the Tinkerer, who provided him with a scythe weapon, taking on the name as the Grim Reaper. He defeated the Avengers, but was defeated by the surprise appearance of the Black Panther. Later, the Grim Reaper confronted the Avengers with his lethal legion, comprised of the Living Laser, the Power Man, the Ape Man, and the Swordsman. The Legion was defeated when Grim Reaper found himself unable to strike down the Vision, having discovered that he possessed Simon's brainwave patterns. Vision met with Grim Reaper, who had offered him a proposition. If Vision aided him in getting revenge on the Avengers, he would transfer Vision's mind into the body of the deceased, but preserved Wonder Man. The deceased but preserved Wonder Man, sorry. Not giving in to Grim Reaper's offer, Vision refuses. However, Grim Reaper gave him a medallion that would put them into contact should Vision change his mind. When the Space Phantom returned, he teamed up with the Grim Reaper. The Space Phantom and Grim Reaper imprisoned some of the Avengers. Grim Reaper found Vision and made him an offer yet again. He took Vision back to where the body of Wonder Man had been stored, only to reveal that he really could not transfer Vision's mind into Wonder Man's body because Wonder Man was dead. However, if they joined forces, he would be able to transfer Vision's mind into the living body of Captain America. Trying to appeal to Vision, Grim Reaper revealed his and the Space Phantom's plan. To his end, the Space Phantom took the form of the Viper and later the Supreme Hydra during Captain America's last battle against the terrorist organization. When the Space Phantom was unmasked by Captain America, he paralyzed the Star Spangled Avenger and his partner and then facilitated their plot. The Space Phantom made the whole world forget that Captain America was Steve Rogers, suppressed Captain America in Rick Jones' memory for the event, and sent them on their way, without finally revealing his and the Space Phantom's ultimate goal. Grim Reaper asked if Vision would go along with their plan so that he may be human, a question to which Vision answered affirmatively. Vision, uh, Vision knew that Sorry, Vision got angry with the Grim Reaper by suggesting that the Grim Reaper was merely one of the. Oh, sorry. He Vision pissed off the Grim Reaper due to the fact that he was suggesting that the Grim Reaper was merely one of just Space Phantom's lackeys. This gave Captain America the chance to attack Vision, explain to Captain America that he was tricking Grim Reaper into believing he has joined their cause in an attempt to free his captured comrades. The two Avengers then freed their friends and soon found themselves confronted by the Grim Reaper, the Space Phantom, and an army of Hydra soldiers. When the Space Phantom tried to kill Vision, Grim Reaper attempted to stop him, and soon a battle erupted between Hydra and the Avengers. The Avengers were soon felled by one of Space Phantom's weapons, except for the Scarlet Witch, who escaped to summon Thor, and Vision, who was immune to the sonic attack. However, the Space Phantom got Vision to surrender and allowed him to be in prison. When he threatened to kill Grim Reaper, the Space Phantom then chased after the Scarlet Witch, so she could not rouse Thor. She was quickly captured. The Space Phantom then arrived at Avengers Mansion and attacked Jarvis and Rick Jones. Rick turned into Captain Marvel and then freed the Avengers. They all made short work of the Hydra army. Marvel explained to the others that when Rick clashed the Negabands, the Space Phantom's powers attempted to become two people at once, which proved to be too much, and so the Space Phantom was transported to Limbo. While Rick was transported to the negative zone as usual, uh, the Avengers allowed Grim Reaper to go free. Now, after Wonder Man returned to life and joined the Avengers, Grim Reaper attacked the team and incapacitated them with his Scythe blasts. Sorry. When they awoke, he forced Wonder Man and Vision to undergo a trial to determine the true Simon Williams. Wonder Man eventually fought back and battled his brother. During the fight, Eric revealed that he was one that hired Black Talion to raise and reanimate Wonder Man. Unfortunately, Wonder Man broke Grim Reaper's scythe and punched him out. Years later, no longer believing that either man was truly Simon Williams, Grim Reaper attempted to kill Vision and Wonder Man at General Hospital. Vision had fallen into a coma after losing his arm in battle and required an emergency transfusion from Wonder Man. During this procedure, Grim Reaper incapacitated Scarlet Witch with chloroform, blasted the Doctor, and attacked vulnerable brothers. Vision and Wonder Man um, revived and, however, defeated the Grim Reaper. Ultron 12 Goliath Manape battled the West Coast Avengers after the. So Goliath, remember, is Atlas. Remember Atlas? This
Yep.
is it. Yeah. This all relates. Calm down. After
Well,
the Gol-
were they, was it all one like combined being, or was it like Ultron,
Oh,
Goliath?
I'm sorry. Ultron 12 Goliath and Ape Man battled the West Coast Avengers.
Okay, there we go. Because
After
you said it so fast, I was like, "Is this one new giant ultra being?"
No. After the villains captured and escaped with Hank Pym and Wonder Man, Hawkeye concluded that they were working with Grim Reaper. In New Jersey, Grim Reaper met with Black Talon and Necra. He kissed Necra and confirmed that he had sent Ultron to capture Wonder Man, and the trio of villains battled Vision and Scarlet Witch in exchange for Wanda's life. They were allowed to escape with a zombie duplicate of Simon Williams, because that always goes well. With this united with this reunited Lethal Legion, the Grim Reaper held Hank Pym and Wonder Man in prison. He revealed his plan to scan the minds of Vision and Wonder Man and erase any uncommon thoughts and transfer pure Simon Williams' consciousness into the zombie. Later, the Grim Reaper lounged with Necra. He became very angry when Ape Man interrupted and yelled racial insults at the henchman. Ultron 12 attacked the Avengers jet and crashed it. The team regained consciousness inside of a cave where Grim Reaper had them all trapped inside electric cages. Mockingbird suddenly arrived and freed the Avengers as they battled the Lethal Legion. Grim Reaper tried to flee through the caverns, but Vision and Wonder Man pursued him. However, the cavern seemed to be crumbling beneath his feet. The Grim Reaper fell to his death. Over the next 9 months, Necra studied with Black Talion and learned how to raise the dead. She successfully reanimated the Grim Reaper, but did not allow him to realize that he was a zombie. Instead, he convinced himself that his fatal fall was just a dream. Necra then reanimated the duplicate of Simon Williams. She revealed that her zombies were not traditional due to the knowledge she combined from voodoo, the cult of Kali, and the West African tribes. Any zombie she raises is truly alive, and will think that it is, if not told the truth. After raiding a sporting goods store for weapons, the villains suddenly arrived at the hospital where Witch was giving birth. They battled Wonder Man and Magneto outside. Magneto took control of Grim Reaper's scythe and used it to stab Reaper's other arm. Seeing no blood emerge from the wound, Grim Reaper angrily realized that he was indeed a zombie. Confronted by the man she loved, Necra's hate-fueled strength and spell faded. Grim Reaper reverted back to a corpse. He next appeared as part of the Immortus' Legion of the Unliving. However, the Wasp claimed that this was simply a simulation that was pulled out of time. Regardless of the true nature, this Grim Reaper faced off against Wonder Man, and ensuing a struggle, Wonder Man accidentally broke his neck.
Nice.
Necra raised Grim Reaper from his grave again. This time, her spell required him to absorb a human life every 24 hours. He began by stabbing and draining Necra in an abandoned military bunker. He murdered a gang of cult members. When Wonder Man arrived to investigate, the two brothers fought. Grim Reaper discovered that he could not drain Simon's life force, so he escaped in the darkness. The next night, the Grim Reaper killed and drained a homeless man, and he and Wonder Man fought once again, but were interrupted by the Mandrill. The mutant sought to avenge his sister Necra. However, Grim Reaper drained him as well, then escaped through a manhole. He walked through the sewer and discovered Ultron 13's lair. Ultron was in the process of transforming Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Tigra into robotized androids, and revealed his plan to do the same to the rest of California. Grim Reaper snuck up behind Ultron. They fought briefly. Ultron used his eye beams to fuse Grim Reaper's scythe to his hand. Grim Reaper used the new condition and agreed to serve Ultron. Grim Reaper loved his new condition and agreed to serve Ultron. However, he revealed that this was a ruse. After Wonder Man arrived to search the lair, he explained to Simon that Ultron had inadvertently absorbing human energy through the robotizing process, and Grim Reaper planned to turn against Ultron and gain that energy for himself. He offered Wonder Man a deal. If Simon agreed to stand aside and let Grim Reaper kill one person a day, Grim Reaper would help lead him to Ultron. The brothers crashed into Ultron's blimp, why I don't know, at the Rose Parade. Grim Reaper fought Ultron and succeeded in draining the robot's energy. Wonder Man then went against their agreement and fought Grim Reaper as well. The battle ended when Grim Reaper and Ultron were caught in a feedback loop, with Hawkeye in the middle, and eventually collided. Later, Grim Reaper summoned the demon Lalagroth and asked for supernatural power. In repayment, he crashed a jet, killing the passengers on board. He also attacked a subway train, sucking the commuters into a vortex. When the Avengers examined the jet's black box, they found a holographic projection of the Grim Reaper. He challenged them to come to the cavern where he died years ago. There he attacked them with creatures made from magical energy before transporting the team through another dimensional vortex. On the other side, he summoned his own Legion of the Unliving and sent them to attack the Avengers. Confronted by the Vision, Grim Reaper accused the Avengers of murdering him. However, the Vision revealed that Eric had actually leaped off the cliff and taken his own life. After he realized and admitted this, Grim Reaper lost control of his Legion. They vengefully attacked him, and suddenly Lagareth arrived and devoured the Grim Reaper. Okay. From another realm, the Grim Reaper observed an Avengers Day parade. Later, he arrived in Central Park and interrupted a celebration dedicated to the deceased members. He summoned the decayed bodies of Captain Marvel, Doctor Druid, Hellcat, Mockingbird, Swordsman, and Thunderstrike. Grim Reaper and his team defeated the Avengers and then placed a magical force field around the park. With the Avengers chained to to, to stone columns, he explained that Wonder Man's repeated returns from death in recent months had weakened the dimensional barriers. This allowed Grim Reaper to return as well. He intended to share his pain with the world and feed off people's despair. The Avengers were rescued by their deceased members after Scarlet Witch restored them to their true selves. Grim Reaper summoned winged creatures to help him fight. Scarlet Witch pulled Wonder Man through a rift to fully resurrect him. Because he was their anchor, the deceased Avengers faded away. Grim Reaper remained and fought Thor until Wonder Man pulled his brother through the rift too. After the creatures and the force field disappeared, Grim Reaper was sent to an asylum. Robots attacked the hospital and abducted Grim Reaper. He was shackled to Ultron's base alongside Vision, Wonder Man, Scarlet Witch, Giant Man, and Wasp. Ultron intended to copy and combine their brain patterns to create a new robotic race. Vision took control of the base's computer system and I'm sorry, Vision took control of the base's computer system and unshackled the Grim Reaper, who then fought the other prisoners, who then freed the other prisoners and escaped during the fight. In Ultron's former Manhattan base, Grim Reaper helped the Avengers fight robotic duplicates. He put a tracer on Wonder Man and then got away with when the robotics self-destruct. Grim Reaper followed the tracer to a robotic city in Egypt, helped the Avengers fight the armies of Aklaham and Ultron, and then escaped once again. We're almost done. Grim Reaper was a part of the aftermath of the secret war that had been arranged by Nick Fury against Latveria. He was among the villains who had been given technology by the Latverian Prime Minister Lucia von Bardus and was sent to kill the heroes who had been involved in the secret wars. Grim Reaper apparently to be one of the many villains who escaped the Raft prison during the Civil War. After being at large for several months, Grim Reaper joined Dr. Octavius's same thing. Dr. Octavius, Dr. Octopus's new Sinister Six. On their first mission, they were tracked down by Captain America and Cable, who together with their other friends brought Grim Reaper down, and the Vulture and Grim Reaper were beaten to a pulp and chained to a column. Eric was later placed in custody by the Shield. Grim Reaper was next seen teaming up with Manape and the Saboteur. How he escaped Shield is uncertain. He later formed a new lineup of Lethal Legion as part of a plan against Norman Osborn after Osborn rose to power. The team was ultimately defeated by the Dark Avengers and Hammer agents and once again imprisoned on the raft. While there, Grim Reaper was stabbed in the heart with an inmate loyal to Osborn and had to undergo an operation. It was also revealed that his brother Simon was a member of the Legion and was also imprisoned on the raft. It was disclosed that the Grim Reaper had formed the Legion so Osborn could be seen as a hero for taking them down, as well as have his brother look bad and make him and the Dark Avengers look better than the originals. When his death faked, he then left for Europe to establish a new power base for Osborn. When the Mad God Amatsu Mazagashi declared war on the Pantheons of the other worlds, he investigated the Chaos War by rallying an army of alien deities and destroyed the realms of the dead. Flooding souls into the world of the living, Williams was chosen as one of his servants along with Necra. Were charged with the killing of Avengers in order to defend them. Vision, whose soul was returned to Earth, along with the other fallen heroes, detonated himself, seemingly killing Williams in the process. Surviving yet again, the Grim Reaper and the Lethal Legion tried to escape from jail, but they were stopped by the Avengers. Um, Grim Reaper made a deal with Mephisto, who had planned to bring him back to life in exchange for him becoming Mephisto's desire, his own personal Valkyrie. All he had to do was either bring Mephisto a hero's soul or kill Jane Foster, the only active Valkyrie standing in his way. The Grim Reaper got very close to delivering the soul of Doctor Strange, but Jane managed to grab him, and since she realized he died a warrior's death, transported him to Valhalla. When there he stayed while Jane took back Strange's soul to his body. Grim Reaper faced the Valkyries and revealed his debt to the Great Old Ones, which would cause war if left unrepaid. The Valkyries were unwilling to affront the Great Old Ones and surrendered Williams to them. Grim Reaper drifted across the outer dark, calling to Ligoroth. He eventually found the Gradagroths through the Gradagroths, rather than the Lagrothrin, and the Garganthos claimed the debt, consumed the Reaper and changed him. The Grim Reaper was blessed by the blood of the Nameless, and this creature created the Gravel Realm as a means for the Reaper to feed this new creature um, with death and corruption by attracting the living through the Death's Door to there. Um, the Great Old Ones also snatched juveniles, true fairies, from their mother and gifted them the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper returned to the land of the living through Death's Door in Vision's home in Arlington, Virginia, because that's where Death's Door is. Using his powers to resurrect his former body buried in the garden and slay Vision, as Vision and the Scarlet Witch disrupted the Gravel Realm, or the Grave Realm, I should say, and cut the feed to the demon, leading him to appear before them and the Grim Reaper. Vision pleaded with the demon for the Grim Reaper, who simply swallowed him. The Reaper, the Grim Reaper was saved by Vision, who tore him apart uh, from Garganthro's entrails. The demon was greatly damaged by Vision and the Scarlet Witch. His diminished state attracted the original demon that the Grim Reaper wanted, who overpowered and snatched the demon away, ending his reign of fear. And the Scarlet Witch then returned the Reaper, but imprisoned him in a prison of her own making. So let's go over the powers and abilities of him. Apparently, originally he was just purely technology-based villain with no innate human abilities. However, he has necromancy because apparently he has the ability to resurrect beings. After his debt claimed, he could use Mortogoli. Oh, I'm sorry. It's very similar to necromancy, but you're able to control the dead fully. His abilities are leadership, mechanical engineering, hand-to-hand combat. His weaknesses, however, is his mental instability, which causes his downfall most of the time. Um, he has his Grim Reaper's scythe. Um, Apparently, his right hand had been amputated and replaced with his trademark weapon, which initially had the ability to allow the blade to spin at rapid speeds, making the weapon usable as a buzzsaw, massive shield, and an improvised helicopter. It could also fire energy blasts, gas pellets, and dispel electric stun shocks on touch. Later on, he's able to use it to drain the energy and life forces out of other beings. So the power grid is always out of 7. So let's talk about his power level. His intelligence is a 2 because it's normal. His strength is a 2 because it is considered normal. His speed is a 2 because it is normal. And his durability is a 2 because it is considered normal. His energy projection, however, is a 6 because he has multiple types of energy projection, specifically necromancing. And his fighting skill is a 4 because he's an experienced hand-to-hand fighter. Um, and that, my friends, is Eric Williams. I wanted to talk about him because we've talked about him a lot, especially getting ourselves ready for Wonder Man and the potential of seeing him as the brother of Simon. But we'll have to wait and see to know for sure. But for now, next week we're going to be talking about the final season of Teen Titans and a character spotlight for Mike and any trailers that pop up. But for now, if you made it this far into the video, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Eel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.